We'll get into sports here coming up in a moment. But as I always do, I start out my morning talking about Taylor Swift. And I was mentioning to the Danettes, she just did a concert in Europe where I think it was 3.5 hours long. I think it might have been in the rain, 3.5 hours. And I was thinking, at what point is a concert too long? Now, I went to an Elvis Costello concert. That was last year in New York. And while I wanted to see Elvis Costello, I got to see a little too much of Elvis Costello. So it was over 3 hours, and it was a little too long. Now, that might have had something to do with the seats that I was in, because they were built for somebody probably back in the 1920s. And my wife and I had to squeeze into the seats, and it was a little too long, I've been to a Springsteen show where I go, getting up there close to 11. We've been going strong for over 3 hours, and I got to drive back. Would you rather have a concert too long or too short?
Ooh.
Too long or too short? Marvin, will start with you.
Too short if they play all the hits.
Okay. Okay. Now we have an asterisk by this. Okay. Seaton, too long, too short concert.
I'm trying to think band by band.
Genre?
Some bands I might be like, nah, this is I think too short. Because there's definitely been times like a Springsteen concert I went to, every single song was a hit, and I was like, damn, man, this is 3+ hours now. This can end any time. I once went to go see this band called the Mars Volta, and they played for seemingly like 2.5 hours, but they only played about 5 songs. Their songs were just that long.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, there were times they were 45 minutes into something, and I was like, this is still the same song? Holy crap. How many times did they play in this one song?
Well, that'd be a Fish concert as well.
Yeah. I mean, they're great. They're very, very good. They're an unbelievable, but it's at the same time, it's like, good God, man.
Todd, too short, too long?
I rather go to a concert that's more on the longer side.
Okay.
I feel like I got my money's worth, and if I like them that much and I took the time to go, it shouldn't bother me that much that it's going long.
All right. Paulie?
Is too short like an hour and 15 minutes? Probably.
Yeah, this is a good question because it's too short, like 30 minutes, that's it?
I would say we can do the over-under at an hour 15, or
What about 45 minutes?
That's too short.
Yeah, too short.
Yeah, I would say an hour 15.
Or 3.
Or 3. Okay, we can do 3:15 or hour 15. Yeah. Yes, Todd.
The concert needs to be longer than the time it took to get there. I think that has to be factored in also. If it took me an hour to get there and you're playing for 40 minutes, like, what?
Okay. 3.5 hours is a commitment.
That is.
I mean, it really is. Like you're putting in a half a day's work to go see that show. Now, given what it costs to go see Taylor Swift, you're probably going to go, all right, let me itemize this with a song, per minute or whatever. Yes, Paul.
I'm going to go long because then you see everything. The only problem is if you leave at the 2:45 mark, you're probably missing the best songs in the last half hour.
That's true.
I look at Taylor Swift websites all the time, by the way. Her normal concerts are 3 hours and 15 minutes. Occasionally on this tour, I've got time of every concert. They've gone up to 3 hours and 45 minutes if she has special guests or some cover songs.
If you're playing the hits, you're not going to hear a couple of the hits if you don't stay around for the encore. You got to roll the dice there. Like, what song are they? And if you can get the set list ahead of time, then you're going to go, oh, God. Let me strategize here. Do you guys ever, Hootie and the Blowfish is out on tour now. So I went to see what they did when they were in Dallas, just to see the set list there. Now, I'm not going to leave early with a Hootie and the Blowfish concert because I'll hang with the guys afterwards and tell them how great they were. Seaton.
Part of it, too, though, is if you're paying, like, Taylor Swift concert tickets right now are, like, crazy expensive. They're like $2,000, $2,500 a piece or something. If you're going to do that, I'm going to need it to be about 4 hours long. I'm going to need it to be 3 years worth of concerts. If I'm paying $1,000, $2,000 plus, if I'm paying $500 for a ticket, I'm going to need it to be a good 2 hours and 30 minutes.
So it's going to be around, is it $600 per hour when you're watching Taylor Swift? Like, if you itemized it, if you're watching what you paid and how long they're going to play. I've never done that before, but, come to think of it, if you're going to go see one of these bands or an artist, and they're going to be charging you, or the secondary market's going to be charging you, then you're going to be like, I don't know if I got my $650 worth that first hour. Yes, Eaton.
I'm looking at a popular ticket website,
Okay.
selling website.
All right.
This is for her concert October 18th, Friday, 7 p.m. Hard Rock Stadium, Miami, Florida. The cheapest ticket I could find is $2,250
But that's
each. That's each.
secondary market.
Yeah, it sounds like flub schlub.
Oh, is that the ticket site?
I don't know what you're referring to.
It sounds like flub schlub.
Love flub schlub. That's the only place I go.
Yeah, that's each. So if you're gonna take your one daughter by herself, no friends, just you and your daughter.
Yeah, that's
or
where
Sursa, whoever.
No, that's where you can't go. Hey, can I bring Sally and Tina and Terry? No, it's just you and me. Okay. Going to cost $5,000 to go see her.
Just for the two of you. That's not parking. That's not a T-shirt. That's not drinks.
Oh my God! And those T-shirts where you go, that T-shirt's $100, and I'm like, I don't think I need a Neil Young T-shirt. Like I'm good. Yes, Marv.
Do you know how bad it was when I asked my mom for an $18 MC Hammer shirt? Marvin, are you crazy? But she did anyway. I'm going to my mom's house tonight. I'm going to try to see if I can bring it tomorrow.
Oh, now you're going to be able to wear it?
No. I was 8. If I was 18, I still couldn't fit into it.
Okay.
The Hammer Don't Hurt Him tour?
No, it's a Too Legit to Quit
Oh,
tour.
okay.
With
Oh.
Jodeci and Boyz II Men.
Oh, okay.
Dude, that is a...
And he went on for me about an hour 30, I want to say.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
So it's similar to going to the movies. If you see a 90-minute movie, maybe hour 45, it's standard. But some of those movies, like, I don't know, it's like Dunkirk or something. It was an easy 3 hours.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's going on here? Getting a little stiff.
Yeah. Yeah, but at least there's, if you can move around when you go to a concert.
Yeah.
When I go to the theater, I'm just sitting there. Like I've done that before, where you just look at your watch, and you go, it's been about 2 hours and 10 minutes. And then you go, how long is this movie? And then you realize, it's 2:47. Yes, Todd.
If you're able to get tickets where there's no work or school the next day, that certainly makes it a lot easier. We don't have to keep worrying about your watch. I'm not going to get home till 1 a.m. and I got to get up at 6.
Yeah.
You can go like on a Friday night, Saturday night. It doesn't always work out.
Yes, Marv.
How long was Billy Joel?
It just, I think, over 2 hours.
Kind of sounds like a perfect time.
But it was, the time was just right. And he played all the hits and, stayed for the encore, stayed till the very end. But it was, I think, a little over 2 hours. It didn't, see, I don't even realize how long it was, but it didn't feel like it was a long concert. But, it helps when they play hit. Like he had hit after. You have to be really good to be able to play 3.5 hours if you're Taylor Swift. You have to have a lot of hits if you're going to play for 3.5 hours. So not many people have that opportunity to go. And here's another one of my number one hits.
She definitely does.
She's got a lot of them.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's-
Marv.
And the difference between Billy Joel and a lot of the legendary artists is that he hasn't released new music in 30 years, so all he has is the hits.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you want to go see Bon Jovi or the Rolling Stones or whoever, and they're like, hey, this is something off of our latest album. Boo! Play Living on a Prayer! That's where the issue comes in for those legendary groups.
Well, the Stones have a new album out, and they're on tour. But they still play all the hits. And, I talked to somebody who just saw them recently, and they said they were great. Jagger's still running around. He's, like a marathon runner up there. He said the funny part is Keith Richards. Sometimes he'll just sit down and play his guitar. The fact that Keith is still alive at 80, that's pretty good. I had the under. But, when you see the Stones, they have so many hits, and then you're like, all right, oh, okay, that one. Okay, that one. So, yes, Paulie.
I think a long concert is kind of like a college football game. You get there early. You want to be there early to tailgate. The longer the game, like college football games, when they go 4 hours, it never bothers me. When I'm at them, I never go, oh, I got to run out of here.
But why do we look at baseball games and have a problem with baseball games, like how long they go? But I don't know if people go, man, this football game is taking forever. But a baseball game, you're like, we got to get this done in less than 2 hours. No matter what the end result is, it feels like they got to speed this game up. Yes, Eaton.
Because football games, every 30 seconds or so, you have 10 interesting seconds, and then you wait, and then wow, this 7 seconds was good. Okay, let's wait. Oh, wow, that was really interesting. And then, oh wow, that was interesting. You know, that's why baseball's not like that. You might have a whole 45 minutes of nothing happening.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it. It's timeless.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry,
bad.
Bob Costas just got into my ear. Yes, Tom.
I think if you're engaged and it's compelling and you know the words and you're singing and dancing along, whether it's Taylor Swift or Billy Joel or whatever, that's what makes the time go faster. You just said it didn't feel like 2.5 hours because you obviously liked all the songs and knew all the words and it brought back memories maybe.
But nobody ever says, God, this football game is taking forever. They don't. Baseball, yes. Even basketball. What did we say about the last 2 minutes? Oh, God, it took a half hour. Even if it's a dramatic ending, it took forever, those last 2 minutes. Yes, Paulie.
And college football, you can tailgate afterwards. A lot of people tailgate afterwards. They get a few more in you. You kind of wrap it up. I think that's why nobody leaves college football early. Pro football, you'll see some people bail if it's a blowout. College football doesn't go that way. They don't let you tailgate after the game that much in the NFL.
All right, so that was the conversation prior to the start of the show. We have things to talk about here. Yes, Heaton.
You know what the worst is, too? It's like when you go see a band that's been around a long time and they're releasing their, 17th album, and you're like, oh, they're experimenting with dubstep. Like, that's not what we want out of the Rolling Stones. You know, don't be modern. Don't, or whatever, you know. What's a new form? Hell, this kind of has a trap beat to it. Oh, that's fun.
Hey, everybody's doing country now, and we got a couple of country songs here we'd like to play for you.
We don't.
You don't have to.
They have a new song with Travis Scott. No, don't do a song with him. No,
we don't need to do that.
No.
Come on.